All right, YouTube says we are back live. So let me make sure that the title of the video is all set because sometimes that doesn't save and that causes me problems. So it looks like that's good to go. Let me just readjust my spreadsheet here so I can keep track of these episode numbers. So thank you all so much. My name is Jerry, otherwise known as Grizzly Bear Sims, and thank you for returning for another live stream, or if you're watching this over the recorded archive on YouTube, thanks for doing that as well. This is episode number 27 of the Old Guy Farms single player challenge. 32 hours and 15 minutes into this challenge, and we've got almost $1.2 million in the bank. So we are doing super fine with our challenge. And I'm going to just double check a couple of mods here to see. I don't think we're gonna buy anything new today. I do have my eye on, and most likely we will pick up the brand new. It came out last week, and I'm super excited about it. This field service trailer, and I've already added it. Okay, so it's good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the action here. Um, that field service trailer, that's going to come in handy, especially with the Scorpion, because the Scorpion, maybe not in this game day, but definitely as soon as the snow is gone, we're going to be driving, we're going to send that Scorpion up into the high country of the map and start pulling trees out of the high country. And that portable service wagon, not only does it hold fuel, which obviously you have to fill up, so we'll have to take it back to the main farm and fill it up. But it also allows us to do maintenance, the routine maintenance on the vehicle. So instead of driving that slow thing back, all the way back to the main farm to do maintenance on it, we can do maintenance on it right in the field. So that is super cool, and you guys are going to get to see that here on this challenge map. So we've picked up our eggs. All that is good to go. Let's just let's go get in our telehandler, and we can see more of the chickens. So snow is melting. If you remember, like in game day, the last game day of winter, so that was like episode number 24, and even episode number 25, um, or even episode 26, which we just wrapped up just a few minutes ago. We're doing another double header today. You know that the tops of the chickens were just barely visible in wintertime. We had about 5 layers of snow. We got snow 5 days throughout winter, just this last winter. So we sort of do things in the same fashion. We collect our eggs first thing in the morning. We clean up after our sheep first thing in the morning, and then right before we end the stream. We do this for a reason. With the eggs, the spawn point there will only hold about 20-something eggs, and unfortunately, if we don't pick those eggs up, we basically lose the eggs. We lose the ability to collect the eggs until we've collected everything. And so obviously we're not going to become millionaires on eggs, but it's quite possible that the sale of eggs throughout the entire series or challenge would pay for maybe maybe maintenance on a vehicle, or maybe all the maintenance on vehicles or something like that. Who knows? I would certainly hate for the challenge to come down to the wire, to the last final day of the challenge, and realize that I have lost the challenge because we failed to sell, a dozen eggs or something like that. So that's why we do that. And of course, we clean up after our sheep each and every morning and each and every evening to maintain their productivity as close to 100% as possible. We did greenhouses yesterday. We've got 4 greenhouses up on the hill there, as you can see. And just we'll take a look at our money here for a second, and I'll just kind of show you the importance of property income. This is what we're making off of the greenhouses. So $8,400, $8,800, etc. So that is free money, basically, almost free money. It does cost us a little bit to put some manure into them, but it's money, and if you just let them go dry, then obviously you're not doing yourself any favor. So the greenhouses are done, the animals are done. Really, all we really have to do is Let's see. Well, we don't have frozen ground anymore. We don't have frozen ground, but we can't really see our fields. Um, so I was, I suppose we could spread. I suppose we could spread manure, but we can't see our fields. We can't see where our field definitions are, so we're not going to mess with that this game day. We've got plenty of time. We've got plenty of time to do that. We don't have to necessarily get a start on it exactly today, so I think we will just kind of um, repeat what we've been doing, which is kind of just a rinse and repeat kind of operation here. But I promise you that we will be out of the wood business for a little while, anyways. I just wanted to check the water on the sheep, and that's fine. We will be out of the water business soon enough, though, because I'm not the water business, the forestry business for a little while. As soon as we can then see our fields and be able to get to them. So. We just had a lot of snow. I mean, that's really the bottom line, is we had 5. And I'm thinking in the real world, I'm not a rural farmer, so I don't necessarily know what guys would do in this area. And any little bit of farming experience that I have is all based on stuff that I was exposed to when I was a teenager living in Texas. And of course, we would not have this much snow in the ground in mid-spring at all. Um, so anyway, so our Ponce is down here. The problem is, though, is that we probably need to head to a different area and start. I suppose we could go over there and clear out some of those trees. Those are some tall trees over there. Let's go check that out. We got some logs here that we can actually load up as soon as we stop sliding and slipping. I forgot that we cut those. So thanks everybody for sticking around. I know that quite a few of you are still in the house from the first episode, the first live stream, which I did we just ended it a few minutes ago and got going again after just a short break. So thank you all for hanging out and sticking in there for me. I appreciate that. It's a lot of fun to interact with you people on the stream. I've met so many incredible people that I call friends as a result of my interactions with both, YouTube live streaming as well as just my YouTube videos and such. So 194 liters of fuel left, and we've still got 14 days on maintenance. So we're not necessarily pressed to go ahead and get that maintenance trailer. So we will kind of wait and see. So let's see, there's some interesting chat going on here in the chat. So Chris Webb says, welcome back, thank you. DC says, me too. Oops, here's one thing that we need to do right quick, because we need to tab into these trains and slow these puppies down, because that is just a nightmare. All right, so let's see, DC says, me too. You excited for football season to start? Preseason Hall of Fame game is this Thursday. Chris Webb says, yeah, I can't wait for football season. DC is asking Chris who his favorite team is, and I will tell you. Let's go over here and we'll cut on kind of both sides of the track today. I will tell you, I'm also looking forward to football season very, very much. My favorite team is actually going to be playing in the Hall of Fame game. So basically, you get 2 choices of who that team is, and it's probably, for those of you who know me, who know where I grew up, it's probably going to be a no-brainer. And who knows, maybe I've actually already talked about who my favorite team is. I really can't remember, but yeah, that's my favorite team. And so I'm looking forward to football season. Now, I will tell you, I'll be honest and say that, I'm really not excited about the Hall of Fame game. I don't get excited about preseason, just because, let's face it, preseason is kind of about, guys trying to make the team and all that kind of stuff. Your stars of the team, they barely see any action at all in preseason, except for maybe game half in the third game, preseason week 3. I wish that and I really don't understand why the league does this. You know, last year the Hall of Fame game was really sort of a slap in the face to the NFL. You know, they had all this hype and everything about the Hall of Fame game, and they ended up canceling it because there was something wrong with the turf. Um, so that's kind of a black eye on the league that already sort of has some black eyes because of some other decisions that they've made or not made or whatever over the years. But I wish that they would actually, because the Hall of, if you think about it, and if you're a true fan of football, and I won't dominate this conversation, we're talking about football because I know that some people may be tuned in from other parts of the world that may sort of laugh when they hear about how much we like American football. But anyway, if you think about the NFL, if you think about professional football, and especially if you think about the meaning of the Hall of Fame game, I don't understand why this Hall of Fame game can't be a game in week 1 of the regular season. Because if you think about the importance of the Hall of Fame, it is, you know, players and owners and coaches and other, you know, sort of important people that have done a lot for the sport, that have done a lot for the league and everything, that get inducted into the Hall of Fame because, you know, they're awesome. And yet the game, the weekend that we honor them, is like preseason week 0. You know, from Dallas's standpoint, I doubt very seriously if any of the stars are going to be playing very much, if at all. Maybe you'll see Dak out there in one series or something. I doubt that Dez Bryant will play at all. And I would just think that it would mean so much more to not only the folks that are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this time, but also for those that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame in the past. It's sort of like a homecoming or a reunion kind of thing, where that, you know, this was actually a meaningful game, meaning that the teams actually, you know, played all their starters and everything, and it was a regular season game that counted, and that they'd say, okay, this is going to be the Hall of Fame weekend, and it's going to be week 1, and it's going to be between, you know, whatever, and go from there. But anyway, and I also like college football as well. I am waiting, enjoying, or looking forward to enjoying college football is what I'm trying to say. And I'll go ahead and tell you what my college team is. I see Chris Webb is a Vols fan, so I support a team from Texas that is similar color to the Tennessee Volunteers. And of course, I'm talking about the Texas Longhorns. Didn't go to school there. I didn't have the grades to go to the University of Texas. I really didn't focus hard enough on my grades and everything to try to get into a school like that. But it was just sort of obviously it was sort of just the state team, and so I just started watching them back in the 70s. Of course, Earl Campbell. Lots of good memories. Let's see, Grizz says, or I'm sorry, DC says, Grizz, we're supposed to be arch enemies. I'm a Niners fan. I love the Vols too, Chris. Lived in Tennessee for a couple of years. Yeah, let's see. You know, there's so many, with Dallas anyways, there's so many teams that are sort of arch enemies. Definitely, you know, there was a lot of memorable games between Dallas and the 49ers many years ago. Of course, all of the division teams or the conference teams like the Redskins, the Giants, the Eagles, all of those teams are, you know, sort of have rivalries and everything with Dallas. But, you know, Pittsburgh and Dallas, that's sort of a old school, long time rivalry. Even to a certain extent, Dallas and Denver. You know, there was that one Super Bowl game that Dallas and Denver appeared in back in the 70s. That Dallas beat Denver. So, you know, I live in Denver, and I'm not a Broncos fan. And I have to remind some of my friends that are Broncos fans about that game when we start talking about greatness and all that kind of stuff. Of course, it's been, oh gosh, it's been over 20 years since Dallas has even sniffed, well, I wouldn't say sniffed a Super Bowl. Oops. Obviously, we sniffed at it last year, but just couldn't maintain everything and get in there. But it's been a long time since we've, so, you know, Denver has been to the Super Bowl since Dallas has been to the Super Bowl. Denver has been to the Super Bowl 4 times and won 3, so something like that. All right, enough talk about football. Let's see what else is going on. Chris says, I live in Georgia, but always been a Vols fan. Okay. Yeah, it was some good football back in the 90s. You're absolutely right. I was working at Texas Instruments back in that time frame, and there was quite a few 49er fans there. And of course, where I work now, my headquarters is located in the Bay Area, and so there's a lot of 49er fans. There's a lot of Oakland fans. And such. My boss is a Baltimore Ravens fan. One of my best friends is a Bronco fan. So we have all sorts of fun and entertaining, you know, discussions from time to time. And of course, Dallas is coming here in week 2 of the regular season. So AFC West is playing the NFC East this year. So Dallas comes here, and I believe the New York Giants come to Denver. Of course, everybody's asking me if I'm going to go to the game. Tickets are just because of the whole, you know, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott and all that kind of stuff. Tickets are going for like $500, $600, which is just, that's more than I'm going to pay. I'd rather sit at home with my my nice flat screen TV and my own comfort, and not have, of course, it'll be week 2, so it'll still be kind of hot, probably. Farmer Klein, welcome to the stream, Farmer Klein. Yes, sir. We still have snow. It is day 3, mid-spring. Our frozen ground has gone away, but our fields are still covered in snow. So I suppose I could still work the fields. But you know, I don't think that we'd do that in the real world. So I'm just going to take another day and spend another day making more money, and try to build up a little bit of a gap between yourself and myself. Yeah, I think it's just one layer. I think you know, we could barely see the tops of the chickens' heads a couple of game days ago, and the chickens are almost fully visible now, so we're getting there. I would fully expect that the snow will melt by tomorrow. And we're just hanging out. We've done a double header, so we're sort of, well, not even halfway through, I guess, this gameplay for this episode. But I normally don't stream on Sunday mornings, but my wife is sleeping in because she's got a big day tomorrow. I think she's a bit stressed, and so while she's sleeping, I'm going to finish this episode, and then I'll go wake her up when we're done here. She's not up on her own, just because she won't be able to sleep tonight. And then my schedule tomorrow, I'm going to tell folks that I'm off from work for 2 days. My wife is having surgery. It's just a day surgery kind of thing, so she'll be home tomorrow, late morning or so. We've got to be there at 6, and I think the surgery is at 7:30 or something, so we'll most likely be home before lunch, I would expect. And she's probably going to sleep for a while, and so I'm home from work, I'm off, and so I am going to. I may stream tomorrow. Is what I'm trying to say. That's the words that I'm trying to get out of my mouth. Is I may actually stream. I don't know if I'm not going to say that it'll be at a specific time. It'll just kind of be whenever she's asleep, and I think that I can get away for about an hour and 20 minutes or so. I'll do a live stream. I'll do an episode of the challenge, and then so it'll kind of be periodic, I suppose I should say. And most likely I will not be streaming Monday night or Tuesday night. So if you guys are certainly working tomorrow during the day, don't worry about watching the live stream and stuff. You guys can catch the recorded archives. I appreciate you hanging out and everything, but I don't expect you to do that. Because obviously work and all that other stuff comes first, and this stuff comes second. So I sort of figure that she's going to sleep at least the first day. She's going to sleep some of it, most of it, maybe all of it. I don't know. And that'll give me an opportunity to, because there's nothing else for me to do. She's sleeping. Yeah, I can watch. Gosh, I can watch daytime television, but let me tell you, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare for me. And then if I want to get my blood pressure worked up, if I watch the 24-hour news cycle for more than about 10 or 15 minutes, then I start going crazy, losing my mind with that. So trust me, it'll be coming downstairs and firing up the PC and launching the live stream and at least getting an episode or two of the challenge map played, and we'll go from there. So let's see. Old guy farmer rolled his log trailers again this morning. He did. Okay, so awesome. I am then winning that little competition because I've only rolled a log trailer twice. So he's rolled. I know that he's rolled his tandem trailer once. So that's kind of like two trailers, and then I've logged mine. So let's see. Where's the train? Can we do this? Can we make this happen? Alright, like a boss, taking them out like a boss. Alright, there's one there. That adds a extra layer of variety and everything to it, having the trains running like that, because you got to really watch your back. And I have yet to be wiped out by the train. Our friend Farmer Klein, who's in the house this morning, has, according to what he said, maybe more than once. I don't know, but we'll see if we can prevent that from happening. Let's see. Chris Webb, welcome Farmer Klein. How are you this Sunday morning? All right. J.R. Brown, good morning. I may have misweighed it, but did we have code word last episode? Yes, we did have a code word last episode. And I'm assuming by last episode you mean episode number 26, which I did this morning, the first video. Yeah, we did have a code word. I will give you a hint, sir, because you've watched pretty much all of my episodes as well. It's kind of towards the end of the episode, but if you had tuned out or whatever, had to go for a bit or whatever, you might have missed it. But yeah, we did have a code word. So as you all know from yesterday, because I talked about the projects that I had to do yesterday. So, and I've got a survey. This is unscientific survey for you guys, but I know that maybe some of you do home improvement projects around the house. My unofficial survey for you all is typically on an average type of weekend project kind of thing. Okay, how many trips does it typically require you to go to the home improvement store? So like here in the US, we've got an orange one and we've got a blue one. I try not to mention the names just in case that's going to be taboo or something with advertising or whatever. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. on average, how many how many trips do you have to typically make for your home improvement project? So yesterday we had a couple of projects, honeydew projects, that got put on my honeydew list. One of them, and I sort of explained this in the stream yesterday, I've got some kind of vermin, some kind of critter that's trying to get in through the garage door. Has been for several years, and what I would actually do is about once or twice a year I would putty over the hole, the scratch marks and stuff that they were making, and this is just like a pressed sawdust garage door, very heavy, but still just made out of pressed sawdust. And so I'd fix it, and then I would repaint it and everything, make it look nice. And then, oh, looky there, a lot of snow went away that time. But anyway, so I ordered these aluminum L sort of shaped panels. It's about 5 inches on one L shape and about 1.5 inches on the other. So if you kind of visually think about it, this is going underneath at the bottom edge of the garage door. So it's going to be kind of an aluminum plate on the outside of the garage. So I ordered those from the Orange Home Improvement store. They came in last week via the delivery service that is Brown. So I had to go to the home improvement store on Friday night because I needed to get some screws. I wanted to get some good stainless steel screws because I didn't want these things rusting and causing me problems. I had to get some primer that would adhere to aluminum, and so that was the first trip. Then on Saturday morning, after I got through live streaming, I realized that I was going to need to go back to the store because I realized that I did not have a blade for my hacksaw, my jigsaw, my little jigsaw that would cut metal or aluminum. So that was the second trip. Then after we get back from the store, I install this piece of aluminum strip on the garage door, and it started raining, so we opted not to prime it. So hopefully the neighbors won't scream at me until next weekend. But that was a short tree. Should have let it grow. So we opted not to prime it. Well, my wife wanted to install new curtains in our family room and sort of in our breakfast area that we have, which is what we primarily use to eat on all the time because we kind of got a view to the TV from there. And so that resulted in a trip to home improvement stores, and actually it resulted in a trip to both of them. We had to go both to the blue one and to the orange one, and thankfully they're right across the street from each other because we couldn't get everything that we wanted at one of them. I had to go to the other one. So that was three trips. So what about you guys? Let's see. J.R. Brown says, Farmer Klein says, I would say 3, one to get what you think you need, one to get what you really need, and one to get the right size of what you really need. Yeah, and I would even go so far as to say that I could probably throw a 4th trip in there that would be related to the project, and that is to take the things back that we actually didn't end up using or needing or whatever, that, especially if you get, like, for example, here's an example, and this is, my wife is wonderful, I love her to death, but she was a bit undecisive as far as the types of curtains that she wanted to get, and I realized that most people would say, well, do you really buy curtains at a home improvement store? Actually, the blue home improvement store has a pretty good variety of curtains here in this market, and so she thought she wanted to go with white. And I guess after she got them, she realized that wasn't what she wanted. And so on one of the trips that we went back to, we ended up getting another color. But she kept the white ones because she wasn't sure. She kind of wanted to wait and compare them, sort of side by side, if you will. And so, more snow's melting. And so I'm sure today, most likely today, as soon as I get done with this live stream, probably go to the grocery store and probably go to the blue store and take back the curtains that she ended up not using. Yeah, forgot. I do that as well. I mean, I can take a, I can create a list, you know, a project list, if you will. And of course, you know, working in IT, I'm sort of, you know, project minded. I also used to be a project manager in my time, so I've got some understanding of how all those kind of things work. And I can put a list together, and I can't drive over a stump, but I can put a list together that, you know, identifies all the parts that I need for all the phases of a project or whatever, and still won't have everything that I need. And that's just sort of, I guess, the nature of how things go. So let me talk a little bit about the challenge and the giveaway that I am doing, just for the sake of maybe anyone that might be watching the stream that hasn't seen the stream before, or somebody that's going to catch the recorded archive that hasn't heard it before. And I will apologize to my regulars, because I usually discuss this every episode, but you know, it's good to talk about this and let others know what's going on. So as a result of this challenge, and sort of to give back and say thanks to those that have been here most of the episodes, as I mentioned in the previous recorded live stream. There's some folks that have watched every single episode and have sort of registered for the giveaway from each episode. So basically the giveaway is I'm giving away 3 copies of the upcoming Farm Sim 17 Platinum Expansion DLC pack that will be coming out in mid-November. And I'm giving it away out of proceeds that I have earned from monetizing my YouTube channel. So it's not a whole lot, but it's enough to do these kind of giveaways from time to time. I think I've done 3, I think, this year, since I've started. Anyway, so there'll be 3 copies of that that I'll be giving away. And you basically are eligible to enter once per episode. There'll be 72 total episodes for this series. That's playing 6 game days per season and 3 years worth of gameplay. So that's what that'll end up being. And again, you can enter once per episode, and throughout the episode, or at some point during the episode, I provide a code word of the day for each episode. And when you hear that code word, and it's mentioned verbally, I don't put it on the screen or anything like that visually, so you do have to watch and listen to my episodes. You will need to be a subscriber of my channel, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And essentially, I will draw the names on Sunday, November the 6th. The DLC comes out on the 14th of November, and this will be for a Steam copy of the expansion DLC pack. So it's not going to include the full game. It's just going to be basically the expansion DLC, so it would be as if you need to own Farm Sim 17 from Giants to then add that DLC to it. So I'm getting a little bit of stutter there, but that was when the snow went away, and man, is that beautiful. Look at how beautiful the grass looks without snow. Oops. So we're going to take this one tree down, this one last tree, and can't really hear you that well though. Matt Smith, you might need to turn up your volume, because no one else has complained about my audio, so might be on your end. I'll just ask some of my regulars, is my audio lower today, this morning, than it normally is? No one has said anything, and we have streamed. This is our 2nd live stream this morning. All right. So let's think about this for just a tiny second, because we don't have a whole lot of time to think about these kind of things. I think we need to start thinking about where we're going to basically begin operations now that we've got the snow gone. Most likely the next game down. Chris or DC or Farmer Klein, can you guys verify if my game sound? Now keep in mind that this tractor is a little bit louder than others, so my voice is a little low. My volume on YouTube is up all the way. Okay. All right, so we're going to park this guy right over here. This is one of the noisier machines, though, that is kind of that we've got. So maybe that'll be a little bit better. Let me see if I can tweak one thing here. Hang on. I'm going to save the game while I'm there, and let me try to tone down the audio just a bit. Is that here? Master volume, environment, vehicle volume. All right, let's try that. Turn that down just a little bit, 50 and 40. And see if that makes a little bit of a difference. I've got my mic audio turned all the way up, so I can't really do anything about that. So, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up these logs because it doesn't really make sense for us to now that all the snow is gone. Finally, it doesn't make sense for us to go and start doing any work with our fields right now because we might as well just sell this wood and try to see if we can get closer to our $100,000 average that we're trying to do per game day. And if we can do that, then what will happen is when we come back together for the next episode, and like I said earlier, most likely that's going to be sometime tomorrow during the day, and I realize that most of you guys work that regularly attend my live streams, and but I am going to be home. I'm off tomorrow while my wife is recovering from surgery, and so that's sort of the deal. Let's see. Right side, we want left side, and we want B. So we'll go ahead and finish up this, and then we're still going to do logging throughout the spring, summer, fall, but it'll be mostly when we're not doing things with our fields. We are doing traditional farming as part of the challenge, and kind of what I'm thinking about, kind of what I'm hoping is that the money that we make from our selling our wheat and barley and that kind of stuff, I'm sort of hoping that actually fall off. There we go. That we can actually say that has sort of funded maybe all of our maintenance costs and our labor and seeds and things of that nature, and that basically we're using that to cover our costs, and then we're using the forestry to just sort of really propel us with our cash flow and everything with regards to that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know if it's going to work out that way, but best laid plans of mice and men, right? So that's kind of what I'm going with, and that's kind of why we're doing traditional farming. Obviously, I want to try to show you guys something a little bit different each episode, and it's a bit unfair, I suppose, to just do constant logging and everything, but this is a challenge, and the nature of the challenge is basically to see, who has the most money at the end of the challenge. And so the highway signs look like a mess because I don't know that we've hit all of those, but I think that the layers of snow have also prevented them from popping back up. Yeah, you would like for us to do that, Farmer Klein, basically stop our sell. I think coming in and doing field work tomorrow will be fine. Maybe that's a mistake, maybe that will actually be a mistake, but I don't know if I think we'll just do it tomorrow, because actually, let's see, we've got rain tomorrow, but we can still do I think we can we spread manure in the rain? Did they change that? Let's see, what side are we on? Left side. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Love that sound. All right, so the word of the day today, let me get that out. I've already explained the giveaway. You guys can get more information regarding the giveaway down below the video screen. So check that out whenever you have a moment or two of free time to do that. But the word of the day today is home improvement. So we talked a little bit about home improvement and going back and forth to the home improvement centers and the number of trips that it often takes and everything. And for me, I would say my average is about 3 for just about every project, because there's always something that you forget. There's always something that is not right, even though you've maybe done your research online. You've realized that it's not the right thing, or you need something else, or whatever. John Gondos, welcome to the stream. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Now, if you've just popped into the stream, I just explained the whole giveaway that I'll be doing soon. And so I won't repeat any of that. You can go back and listen to that on the archive when it's available. All the information is down below the video. You will need to be a subscriber, so I hope you'll go ahead and click subscribe now, and then go ahead and follow up on that when it's convenient for you to do that. So what we'll do tomorrow is we'll hit field work kind of hard and heavy. Our plan for this year, for year 2, is to basically take advantage of our manure buy point, as well as take advantage of the manure buy point as well as the manure mod. The manure mod basically gives us sort of ×2 fertilization on our fields. We've already applied 1 level of fertilization. We did that back after the fall harvest was done. We sprayed those with liquid fertilizer, and then we cultivated those in. We've already done all our plowing that we need to do for the 3 years. That's already done. We sprayed after the fall harvest. That was fertilized layer number 1. We will come around and we'll rent or lease a manure spreader tomorrow in that game day. We will spread manure on the fields. That will give us our 2nd level of fertilization, and then we'll cultivate that manure in, and that will give us our 3 times fertilization. Then we'll obviously start looking at planting our seeds. And we can't really plant anything today anyway. I'll just bring this up for anyone who might be new to the seasons mod, is we do need to get our temperatures up closer to our 41 for wheat, barley, etc. Now, oops, sorry about that. We don't have to, the soil temperature doesn't, and I will admit that I didn't understand this initially, and I may have always talked about in older episodes when I was using the seasons mod. I may have even mentioned that it needs to be that minimum temperature level before you put the seeds in the ground. Basically, that's going to be your insurance. If you wait and put it in the ground when it has reached that minimum temperature, that you'll be safe by doing that. Or if you think that the soil temperature will reach that stage like the next game day, then you can obviously go ahead and seed early. But I think we're going to stay, we have sort of played things a bit conservative. That's why we really lucked out by getting our harvest done on the first day that it was available, because we had so much rain in the forecast for our fall last fall, so much rain, and then we had snow. We had 5 days of snow out of 6 in the wintertime. So I don't know, we can't see what that forecast is going to be in the fall yet, but I'm going to just, I think, stay on the more conservative style of play and not go fast and loose necessarily, and just let that work for us. So we will basically plant when our soil temperature says we can, and just go with that, because that worked out for us in year 1. I think it'll work out for us in year 2 and beyond. And I think that's maybe our best strategy. And then also, as soon as we get our groundwork done, our soil, our field work, and everything done, and we may actually buy another field. I haven't fully decided that yet. Um, but once that is done, we're going to start going after gold nuggets. We know where they are. We've got our first 10 found, and so we basically still, even though we've got 1.2 million in the bank, we still have excuse me, we still have $1 million on the ground. And obviously, we're going to need to take advantage of that before the end of the third year. And I'm not going to take a chance on winter. I'm going to play the remaining 2 years, basically thinking that we could have just as bad of a winter in year 2 and year 3 that we had in year 1, because um, that's just, I think, the safe approach. And to be quite honest, I think guys like, Farmer Klein and Old Guy Farmer, um, which I think those are the two guys plus myself, I think we're further along than anyone else. And I have really caught up in the last couple of days. I think I've done like 6 episodes in the span of 2 days or something like that, or 3 days. Um, and as a result, I'm assuming that basically the gameplay is going to be, pretty much the same as the other year. That's the safe. I think that's the safe approach. Get that stick. Come on. Left side. Start auto load. There we go. There's some sticks over here. I have a feeling, and I sort of said this, I have a feeling that we're gonna see sticks laying around in different places, because a lot of these were cut on other game days, and they got covered in snow, and I couldn't see where they were. And that little guy there might just be too small to even worry about. We've got some up here and some over there, so we'll circle back around and grab those. Let's see, I gave RB advice to move into the hills for his logging during the winter months. Yeah, that is definitely something that I think we have to take into consideration, because if you're lucky and your winter, your second winter is like your first winter, then obviously that's cool. But maybe the luck of the draw is that you got a mild winter your first winter, and I got my devilish winter in the first winter, and maybe things will be different. I don't know, but I know, since I've seen what could happen, that's kind of what I'm expecting, or at least I'm playing it safe that way. And if this is your first, if you just tuned in and you don't know what in the world we're talking about, go back and look at episode number 24. Number 24, I could not drive anything other than the Ponzi Scorpion. That's the only thing. I basically got my tractor and my water tanker. I got that stuck in the field. We couldn't drive this thing, this logging truck. We couldn't drive it. Basically, it was just a nightmare. It was crazy bad. Alright, so we've got some more logs over here on this other field. And we're driving through fields, and I normally don't do that. But for the sake of time, I'm just opting to do it just this once, and I will try to make sure that we don't do that again. Which way does this train come? So we'll get these logs picked up, get these off these other farmers' fields. I do have a plan to expand a couple of fields, so we're gonna spend some of our money. It takes money to make money, is what I've always heard, and maybe that applies to the world of virtual farm sim. Don't know. We'll see how it works out for us. got to be careful. These things will definitely spill. We've got a train coming, so we'll give him a wide berth as we sort of make a wide turn here. Nice, slow and steady to get across the tracks. And again, tomorrow's agenda for tomorrow is going to be field work. But at some point we will take the time to move the Ponzi up into the hills, and that way in our spare time, when we're not doing field work, when we're not hunting gold nuggets, and I don't think I'm going to, I may change my mind on this, but I don't think I'm going to dedicate an episode or a day, a full day to go out and hunt nuggets. I think what I will do is maybe just kind of visually think about the map having zones, sort of like, you know, northeast, northwest, etc., and just maybe try to work and take a 15 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever and run around in the northwest zone of the map and collect some of the gold nuggets then, because we basically got a year and a half to do that. I would want to have all of the nuggets in our pocket with the $1 million prize before mid-fall of year 3, because if we have a big snowstorm, there's no way in where that we're going to be able to get those gold nuggets. Have you ever done Train Sim? Yeah, I have. I've got both the somewhat older version of Train Sim, the one that was available like a year ago or whatever, Train Sim 16 or whatever, and then I've got the new one, the Train Sim World, I think it is. But Train Sim, they're so heavy, they kill you on DLC. Right side, we need left side, and unload. They kill you on DLC, and but I've just got the default stuff that comes with it. But it's pretty cool, and I think that's one of the reasons why I wasn't necessarily excited about the trains in Farm Sim, was because it's kind of like, okay, well, if I want to drive a train, I will basically drive a train in I'll basically drive a train in Train Sim instead of Farm Sim. Baseball 21 says, what did I miss? Well, I don't know. Maybe you've missed a lot. Maybe you haven't missed that much. It depends on when you were last here and all of that stuff. But basically, we have finally got rid of all the snow. All the snow is gone. Well, at least all the snow is gone here. I don't know about the main farm area. I would assume that it is. There's just some little piles of snow here and there, but nothing too major. So I think that will, by the time we get back to the main farm, I'm sure we'll realize that all the snow is gone. And so we were just basically talking about different things, and sort of talking about my strategy for dealing with the gold nuggets. I'm kind of thinking about taking the approach of just kind of working in zones instead of taking a whole episode or a whole hour or so to go after gold nuggets. Just kind of go and find a few here and there, and I don't know if trains are coming or not. We'll just take a chance. And I know that's what probably ends up costing Farmer Klein, is taking a chance on the railroad crossings. But I do love, I love this season, this type of gameplay. I like the longer days. We've been fortunate that we've had essentially, a game day of no moisture. The snow has been gone most of this game day. All right, so let's come on. Let's restack this. Reload this. Like that. There we go. All right. There's a stick there. like I said, I have a feeling that we're going to find sticks laying around all over the place. Well, let's go ahead and take this back to the main farm. Whenever we do, I was gonna say I would go ahead and move the Ponzi up to the hills and do a follow me kind of thing, but I'll just leave it there for now, and we'll do that at another time because I'm not sure exactly where we want to go as far as the hills are concerned. We'll go back this way because this is where we started cutting wood when it started snowing, and so I'm sure that there's some more sticks over here. Let's see which side. Right side, that's right. Some of them, if they're not long enough, if they're not big enough, it's really not going to be to our advantage to spend a whole lot of time going after them. Just simply because if come on guys, load up. There we go. There we go. And we were logging hot and heavy over here in the snow, and logs were disappearing under the snow layers. We had 5 days out of 6 of snow. Crazy, crazy stuff. I'm sure the county will get out here and put all the street signs back up for us. We were knocking things down because we couldn't see the road. We had no idea where the county road was. It was all covered in snow. Slipping, sliding, going everywhere with these things. So we're just going to haul these logs back to the main farm for now. We don't need this trailer for anything other than logs, so whenever we decide to do some more logging, then that's when we will finish filling this trailer up and go ahead and obviously take it in and sell it. But we don't have to worry about them going anywhere. They won't disappear. They will stay right where we leave them. Let's think about where we can maybe leave this thing that won't be in the way. And of course, just as soon as we park it someplace, it will end up being in the way. But we'll leave it right there. All right. So 2000 hours, 8 o'clock, 8:15. So time flies when you're having fun. Let's go ahead and tend to our animals. We'll go ahead and gather our chicken eggs. And it's great to be able to see our eggs laying on the ground now. It's actually great to be able to see a full chicken walking around. And actually, just for grins and giggles, for something else to do, I have been gathering eggs for quite some time and haven't sold any in a while. So let's go and sell some eggs really quick. We should have done this while we were on our way back from where we just came from, because we have an egg sale point not too far from here. We'll get in the cab where it makes it a little bit easier to drive. We'll go up here and see some. We're going to utilize a worker this spring. Oh yeah, we will definitely utilize a worker. Most likely what we will use a worker for is, we most likely will use a worker for the cultivation of, let's see, where's that gas station? It's over here, I believe. we will use a worker for cultivation. So I will probably drive the, where was the gas station over there? I can't remember now. I know there's an egg sell point by a gas station, and I think it's the other way. Anyway, we'll use a worker to spread to cultivate the manure in. And then obviously use a worker maybe to seed, because we can do things while the worker is seeding. We can go out and do some logging or tend to the animals or something like that, and leverage that. It's it's a minimal cost. The workers are, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, how much can we can do quite a bit of work when we can do quite a bit of work when the worker is working. We could do mission as well, although I haven't really done much mission work. I've kind of been $2,359 in eggs. That's going to pay for something. That's going to pay for seed. That's going to pay for labor. Again, those kind of things. And again, kind of what I'm thinking as far as the strategy regarding traditional farming, I'm kind of thinking that if that will cover, if the money that we make on selling our wheat, barley, canola, and all that kind of stuff, if that will pay for the labor, the seeds, the daily maintenance costs on our vehicles, the leasing of the few things that we lease here and there, then I think that's going to be a good thing. And if there's any profit at the end of it, that's going to be even better. But we'll most definitely employ a hired worker both in the spring, and then most likely, obviously, in the fall as well. All right, we'll go ahead and hook this thing up, because we may realize that we've parked this in the wrong place whenever we go to start fertilizing this field over here. And if it's already hooked up, then it'll be quicker to move it out of the way. Alright, turn our headlights off, turn the engine off, get out, and let's go clean up after our sheep. $110 sheep. So we've had 10 sheep born this spring already. So that's cool. We basically started the challenge with about 25, I think, and then we increased that number up to 100 during the fall or winter. I can't remember when I bought them, but they were pretty much at the lowest that we could expect our sheep to be. And so we'll now just basically make sure that we keep them fed, watered, keep them as clean as possible, so that way we reap the benefits of having them running at full production, or as close to full production as we can get that to be, and that should help our bank account as well. I'm not trying to put grass there. Okay, is that big pile of snow gone? Nope, not yet. That's where we've piled up our snow. The only snow plowing that we did, which kind of caught Old Guy Farmer by surprise, maybe others as well, but with having 5 days out of 6 of snowfall, I didn't think that we would benefit by bothering to pick up the snow around the main farmyard. So we just didn't. But we basically did keep the sheep area cleaned up there with snow, and we piled that there on the other side of the fence so it wouldn't be in the way. And so we have completed our obligation of playing until 9 p.m. So that is good. And there's really nothing else for us to do. Our greenhouses won't need to be cared for until tomorrow. And then obviously tomorrow morning, the first thing we'll do is we'll do our eggs. We'll clean up after our sheep, maybe feed them, water them if they need to be, and then start field work. And we'll figure out what we need to do. We do need to lease a manure spreader, so we'll get that done and get started on some groundwork. And thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me during my live streams. This most likely will be the last live stream of the day. I don't think I'll stream tonight. Um, Most likely we're going to probably watch a movie and have dinner or something tonight because my wife needs to have an early night tonight. And but I will be live streaming tomorrow. I am off tomorrow from work. And so once we get home from the hospital and once I get her sort of settled and she's going to sleep the everything off and everything tomorrow afternoon, I will stream a couple of times probably. And I realize that that may not match your schedules because most of my regulars are probably going to be hard at work tomorrow. So certainly catch the live stream. But I probably won't be live streaming during my normal evening time slot of around 7:30 Mountain Time because obviously I'll be spending time with my wife and helping her. And but we've had a good day. We've had a really good day. Let's just kind of look at our stats here for a few minutes. I'm keeping an eye on the time so that we don't go over um, a million. That's maintenance, that's vehicle stuff. So we still sold $81,000 worth of wood today. So we didn't hit our 100, but we really got after it yesterday, 169,000. So it's all good. We're moving. I think we're moving the needles in the right direction. That's what I like to think anyway. So anyway, let's just do a save again, and then we are going to do Alt N and rest through the night. And then hopefully we get an earlier start, 5:53. We will save again. And this is the beautiful day that we have to look forward to in episode number 28, which I hope that you'll either join me live for tomorrow. Ooh, no more space to place new pallets. Okay, that'll also be something that we'll do tomorrow, is move our wool pallets around. So thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And again, catch my archives if you miss my live streams. And thank you all so much. So many of you have taken the time out to contact me with your messages for my wife. I have read those to her, and it makes her smile that people that she doesn't even know are thinking about her. And I appreciate all the kind words that you guys have given towards her. And I appreciate your friendship. And I will see you on down the road. Take care now and have a blessed Sunday. And I hope your Monday, your work week, you ease into your work week. I hope that is also nice and smooth for you as well. God bless you all. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.